16. The Leisure Society. Why automation didn't give us our free time back. The prediction. What we thought. As the 20th century drew to a close, a confident assumption lingered beneath many future forecasts. Machines would take over work, and humans would get their time back. Automation, computers, and productivity gains were supposed to reduce the need for human labor. As efficiency increased, working hours would fall. Society would gradually shift toward leisure, creativity, and personal fulfillment. Work would become optional, shorter, or fundamentally transformed. In this vision, technology didn't threaten employment, it liberated people from it. Standing in 1999, the idea of a leisure society felt not only plausible, but overdue. After decades of productivity growth, surely the reward would be time. Why this prediction made sense in 1999? To see why automation ending work felt reasonable, you have to step into the economic optimism of the late 20th century. For much of the 20th century, this prediction had already seemed to be coming true. Industrial automation reduced manual labor. Household appliances reduced domestic work. Office software reduced clerical effort. Productivity per worker rose steadily. Historically, when productivity rose, working hours often fell. The move from agrarian labor to industrial work shortened the work week. Child labor declined. Vacations became normal. Weekends emerged. By the early 1990s, computers appeared poised to deliver the next leap. If machines could process data faster than humans, why would humans need to spend as many hours processing it? If automation handled routine tasks, wouldn't people naturally work less? This belief resonated strongly with the hopeful millennium mood. The future was expected to be better balanced, not just more efficient. Technology was supposed to serve human flourishing, not consume it. For younger readers today, it's worth noting that overwork was already a concern in the 1990s, but it was framed as a temporary imbalance, not a permanent condition. Who said it, and where? A key voice shaping this debate was Juliet Schor, whose 1992 book, The Overworked American, examined why Americans were working more hours despite rising productivity. Schor argued that technological progress should have led to shorter work weeks, but cultural, economic, and institutional forces were pushing in the opposite direction. Her work highlighted a paradox. Even as society became more productive, leisure failed to expand. Importantly, Schor did not claim that automation would automatically end work. She warned that without structural changes, productivity gains could be absorbed by rising expectations, inequality, and consumerism. However, her analysis was often interpreted, especially in popular discourse, as evidence that the leisure society was still within reach, just waiting for the next technological breakthrough. By the late 1990s, many futurists assumed that computers and automation would finally tip the balance. What actually happened, 2000 to 2025? Work did not disappear. In many cases, it expanded. The early 2000s saw computers make workers more productive, but also more reachable. Email extended the workday. Laptops blurred office boundaries. Mobile devices dissolved the distinction between work and home. Rather than freeing time, technology often filled it. By the 2010s, automation had transformed many jobs, but rarely eliminated the need for human effort entirely. Tasks shifted instead of vanishing. Workers were expected to do more faster and across more domains. In the 2020s, AI and automation advanced further. Some roles were displaced. Others were augmented. But the overall structure of work remained intact. If anything, the pressure to be productive intensified. Knowledge workers faced constant connectivity. Gig work expanded rather than reduced labor. Performance metrics multiplied. Work spilled into evenings, weekends, and vacations, despite extraordinary technological gains. Average working hours did not collapse into leisure. For many, they stagnated or increased. The leisure society never arrived. Verdict. Status. False. Automation did not end work. Despite dramatic productivity gains and widespread automation, work remained central to economic and social life. Technology reshaped jobs, but it did not eliminate the expectation of sustained labor. The prediction failed, not because automation stalled, but because society chose differently. Why it played out this way? The core mistake was assuming that productivity gains automatically translate into leisure. In reality, productivity gains can be absorbed in many ways. Higher output, higher profits, higher expectations, greater competition. rising standards of living. Without deliberate policy or cultural change, there is no guarantee that efficiency results in free time. There was also a psychological dimension. Work provides structure, identity, and status. Many societies reward busyness. Technology made it easier to work but also harder to stop. Finally, automation often created new forms of work rather than eliminating old ones. Managing systems, interpreting data, coordinating complexity, all required human effort. The future didn't abolish work. It redefined it, often in more demanding ways. What this prediction teaches us about the future. This case offers a sobering lesson. Technology alone does not determine social outcomes. The leisure society was technically possible. It simply wasn't chosen. Predictions that assume progress will naturally align with human well-being often overlook power, incentives, and culture. The future delivers capability, but values decide how it's used. In 1999, it felt reasonable to believe machines would free us. In 2026, it's clear that freedom requires more than automation. One sentence takeaway. We built machines to save time, but ended up filling the time they saved with more work.